Welcome back, everybody. This is Lars, and this is gonna be very, very interesting. so, we are going to actually do the rendezvous with the asteroid now. Let's see, it's 2 hours. I'm going to start the burn at like 1 hour away, I think. Maybe I should actually start it a bit early. 1 hour, sure. So we are in target mode now. We have our 3,000 meters a second off, basically. Hopefully we will get the full force of the generators. Just turn around a bit, try to find the perfect angle. Yeah, this is gonna happen pretty quickly. This thing is very lightweight, so it shouldn't be too hard to do this now. Right, so let's see. We're going to go down a bit, and then the intersect is going to start moving away from us, but that is fine. That's 1 hour. Yeah, that's fine. And we will then advance maybe to like 30 minutes. Yeah, and then we will start burning again. Just to try to even out all the difference in velocity. This rendezvous is basically exactly the same as you do when you're docking. Try to get these guys to align and you should be good. Now, let's see, 500 meters a second. We are 150 kilometers out, I think. So I don't think we want to go much slower than this. Now we should start just falling towards the thing. And do we have a distance yet? Do we actually see the thing? I did put it as a target, so I should have seen it. Maybe it's just way too far away, but we are going to intersect at like 40 or 39 kilometers, which is good. We'll just get closer, like very close. Okay, so we are almost at the closest intersect now. Just going to burn like this. Start. Okay, so I'm going to just try doing like a full stop here. It is passing us, but I guess like this, and then start burning this way. Actually, this way. Yeah. So now you can see the prograde marker is actually pointing straight at it. We are going straight for the thing. We are going to just whoosh by it in a few minutes here. Oh, that is it. We are within distance. Cool. It's time to do another braking maneuver like this. If you haven't gone asteroid hunting yet in KSP, I really, really recommend it. It is a lot of fun. It's yeah. It's maybe not the easiest though. Oh, look at that. There it is. I have discovered a problem here though. I seem to have forgot something, and of course these things are all messed up. We won't be able to fully use them, but this whole design has been played with a lot of problems. As you see here, the hinges and stuff, all that has just collapsed into this thing. It's pretty bad. Okay, I guess we will just now open this thing. We will arm it. We will control from here, as that is the thing to do. And didn't I press control from here? Yeah. Then I should be able to say target center of mass, and we'll have to try to just approach it very carefully and bump into it. It should be able to take a punch, this thing. So we are almost good here. Just burn this away, kinda. And yeah, so 0.5 meters a second. I guess that's probably good enough, right? This thing shouldn't be moving around too much, so it should be fine. We have to target the center of mass. We are going dead on here. Okay, and of course we can adjust some afterwards, but yeah, we are gonna grab it and keep at the center of mass. That is the important thing. It doesn't matter if we're slipping a bit, just as long as we get the center of mass as good as possible. What? Didn't I? Wait, what? Come on. There we go. And of course now we can do this. We can free pivot this thing. And then we should be able to just line this up with the center of mass somehow. I guess we'll just have to use this one, even though it's kind of... it's going to be a bit weird. Yeah, so I guess we could probably just go... it doesn't matter which mode we are in, I think. Man, this is weird. It's just... it is not really doing what I would expect it to do. It's slipping, kinda. We need to get this thing back home, and that won't be easy if this thing is actually not behaving. Alright, so we will lock the pivot when we get there, I guess. Yeah, that's probably good enough. We should be firing through the center of mass now. Just to test this, we are... yes, we are not slipping when we do this. Okay, great. We do have everything we need out here, except for some of the science, if we're able to do it. And I think I should probably quick save before I start messing with any of this, because this looks like trouble. So one thing that's very cool about having this like absurd amount of delta V, and even with this thing, we still have like 30-odd thousand, which is it's sick. So basically, we're just going to go home. We were scheduled for arrival in, I think, 149 days or something. The asteroid was, but we're not that patient, so we'll just go home. 3,200 meters a second. Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter at that point. So just sure, go, go that way. Seriously, this is just sick. We actually got an early encounter here. I'm not sure how much we should actually... yeah, we could probably burn a bit more, but 20 days would probably be a decent time schedule here, because we are going to have to do this Duna mission, or a Duna thing first. So I guess we'll just leave this at that, and let's see, we will add another thing here for the SY change. Actually, no, we will... yeah, the SY change should be fine. That's it's going to spend like 2 days in curbing the SY. So we could probably go north-ish first, though, couldn't we? Just burn our way back up here to align this better. Yeah, lower periaps, closer, just cheaper to do it out here. Not that it really matters, but yeah, I think this is good. We should start preparing for Duna. I accidentally discovered something which I find a bit fascinating. So it's sunrise. Duna is sort of in the right position, and it's right above us at sunrise. That seems to coincide with the fact that you could just do this, and this thing should be warp capable. So let's just boost our way up there, and let's test this out. I'm very glad that these guys don't actually, you know, gain the full extent of their aerodynamic properties. When you do this, that would be very bad. All right, so burn this thing. And just keep burning. Go. And as you can see, we are just going to burn straight up. This is one of those crazy ideas I sometimes have. Just burn straight up, because that's roughly in the right direction, right? Oh. Alright. Guess that's good enough for now. Let's see. Where are we? And we have a close approach. I'll just keep burning for a while. Yeah, just we want to get there faster, and then we'll make a correction out here-ish in 2 days. Yeah, let's just wait like 4 days. That's more or less when the other two... We're going to actually send 3 of these guys over here. Just keep burning a bit. And then take a left. We should be there pretty quickly, I guess. Like 3 months or so. Yeah, that's another 3,000 meters a second. But we have the capacity for it, so why not, right? 80 days, yeah, perfect. And just add the maneuver. And let's see, we also need to... Oh, it's supposed to be called this. Let's do... Yeah. These things are so overpowered. And I did add some generators and stuff down on the ground as well. I actually removed all 3 of them that we had close over here to the Space Center. Moved 2 of them that are roughly the size of the MK2s. They are actually the same size, just with bigger wheels. And then I added another one that's almost twice capacity. Maybe 3 times capacity, I don't remember, further north. So these guys are now able to boost like 660 meters a second instead of 480. And I might add 1 more. We aren't getting any problems with the moon, are we? We could have gone to the moon like this. Just go quickly, go. But yeah, that's our relays, and we should have at some point. Then we should have 3 of these long-range relays pointed back at the Kerbin in a pretty high orbit around Duna, which should be enough to make sure that we have beam power anywhere on the surface. So we need to send more payloads, all the payloads all the time. We're just going to scoot over just a tiny bit. We want to aim for Duna, and it's still pretty low here, so we should be able to do at least 1 more launch before we have to warp 1 day ahead. But this thing is gonna do fine. It's gonna do all good. Oh, it is warp capable, but just barely. Okay, let's start just and we'll add, I guess we'll just add 1 thing out here ish, like 4. Yeah, that's like a couple of minutes after the first one. Trying to just cluster these guys a bit so I can do all of them without having to stop any other mission. Alright, now we're going to use... maybe we shouldn't use that much in this one. As long as we have the power relays there already, should be fine. Alright, 1600 meters a second, I will have plenty left to do landing and all that stuff. Yeah, that's good. As you can see here, we will get a pretty nice Duna periaps here. We're going to switch by quickly, but still we could easily do any corrections outside there. We could like burn 5,000 meters a second to get into orbit and still have more than enough to land and do all that stuff. And we have parachutes, so we should be fine. Okay, so this thing is just crazy. We do need to get this thing down to the surface. It has the crane, it has everything. Oh, but I think we don't want to accelerate that quickly, because I think any aerodynamic-ish effect on this thing while we're still in like the thick part of the atmosphere is going to just throw us around and be less than optimal, let's say. It's going to spin, that's fine. I guess as long as we don't accelerate too quickly and just try to keep this thing going straight up at about this speed, we should be fine. Like, I've tried this a couple of times, and accelerating it straight up to like 500 meters a second before we reach 10,000 meters is possible, because our we have a thrust to weight ratio that is actually pretty formidable because of all this fuel we're lifting. It's going to get like lower and lower after a while, but still, it's 160 meters a second. We are getting out of the worst part of the atmosphere and starting to pick up speed. We basically just have to be very, very careful when we lift this thing. We are going into a conservative orbit before we do the burn. We're going to try all that stuff now. I'm actually going to try to just keep at this speed-ish. Maybe try to spin back around. We are out of the worst part, so this now actually has a chance of working. Now, we only have 2,500 meters a second left. We might have to go into a conservative, tall, like high orbit, because we don't have that much oomph in this thing at all. This is one of those things we might have to like do some refueling or something like that, but it might work. It just might. Okay, so we are getting out there like 15. We could probably start speeding up a tiny bit before we lose the side engines. At that point we are not going to have as much power, so we'll basically just have to ride it out, and I guess we need to be careful about that. Okay, so let's start pushing some speed here. Hopefully this thing doesn't spin out like crazy. So this thing, we're supposed to land this on Duna. It has like the claw with some hydraulics and stuff. It should be able to lift the different modules we take with us. All right, speed up like crazy, and come on, don't take out my engines. Oh, that was close. I think we're good though. Yeah, we're good, and we are still accelerating, which is very good. Yeah, we still have 2,500 meters a second left in this stage. Why do we have so little in the last one though? Didn't I did pick up the fuel I needed, and we even have this thing. I think this thing is lying to us. I hope this thing is lying to us. If not, we are screwed. Oh wait, it's probably on monopropellant. Yeah. Do this. Oh yeah, there we go. 15,000 meters a second. Yeah, no problem. I knew there was something wrong. Tons of monopropellant in this thing. We might actually use some of it to get the boost we need to get into orbit. Like, if it looks like we are going to have trouble, I'll probably use it. But I think this stage is able to do most of the heavy lifting. This thing actually surprised me quite a bit. It got us into orbit. Oh, we have a couple of meters a second left. Let's say 35. Yeah, we're going to leave this thing now. This thing behind, and do the receiver here as well, and just slowly boost ourselves into an orbit. So let's have a look at this thing. And this doesn't, of course, doesn't have enough fuel and stuff, so we need to get these guys back out. We have docking ports, it's fine. Yeah. These guys, or this thing, it has the ports here. It has a couple of ground pylons and some other stuff, some resources. This crane is, I won't actually do anything with it now as long as it's still connected, but it has one hinge here and one hinge here, which means we can go like up this, like that, and then down, and then shoot the piston or the hydraulic thing, this thing, yeah, hydraulic cylinder down, and open up the grabbing unit and grab stuff and take it with us. So basically we can use this to, we can just drive straight into something. We can actually dock with it if we are at the right height. I considered doing something here with some hinges and stuff, but I decided that the stability during launch was more important than that detail itself. So yeah, so this guy, we should be able to lift any of the modules that land just a bit too far away for our, or to our liking, but yeah, so this thing is it's an interesting design. It has the plasma engine, not the plasma thruster, I think the other one is called, which is so efficient. It's just so efficient. Specific impulse at like 11,000 seconds. It's pretty crazy. So this is a versatile little thing with the VTOL engines and the things here. It should be pretty easy to land, and if we get into any trouble, it's also easy enough to just you know, it's easy enough to just get the guys to come over and fix the legs or the wheels. That's probably going to be the biggest problem, getting them to actually survive the landing. It's probably going to be a very rough landing. This has a decent amount of thrust in them, these VTOL engines. They are very good, but it's very hard controlling it, so I actually had to turn this back one down to like a 60% thrust because it was so imbalanced because of all the things. But and yeah, we also have I think the fuel is just tiny bit in front of the center of it, and yeah. But well, no, behind, yeah. So this thing will do us just fine. We have to get it down there, of course. And this is kind of interesting, the fact that we have a hinge here and a hinge here, which are connected to the same command. So when this lifts, it also lifts this thing, which seems to stabilize it and strengthen it, even though it kind of bugs out a bit when you lift something then, because that lifts this middle part, but it should be fine. We should be able to... the thing is, worst case, I can always like dock this thing to a ground pylon, and then do the lift and lift it high up, release the pylon, and then right over to where I need to put it. Add another or add down the pylon, just grab it with me, and just use that as stability when we want to get this thing down. I considered some legs here as well, but I decided against it. Okay, so I think this is a good place to end this episode. I'm going to get these guys out of here and then do the burn towards Duna, and then I'm going to do a couple more burns towards Duna off camera, and some course corrections and all that stuff. And then we'll have a look, I guess, at the Asteroid Hunter in the next episode, and then hopefully we're able to just time warp and see what happens when we get to Duna.